Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. What can one do to make the divorce process go smoothly? That's a very interesting question because it's a process by its nature, which is adversarial, which deals with people who have hurt feelings potentially. You got one person against another, somebody's suing someone, someone's countersuing someone. It really, by definition, doesn't lend itself to going that smoothly. So how can you do it as smoothly? And by smoothly, I mean as smoothly as humanly possible. There will always be ups and downs in that process. But there are certain things that you can do that might make it easier. Number one, you have to have a realization. The realization that you have to have is that the way the process works is either the parties agree how to resolve the case or the judge makes the decision. I will tell you that in the area here in Michigan, out of 100 cases, 97% of them are resolved by the parties. Only 3 out of 100 actually go to the judge. What does that mean? It means that odds are your case is going to be resolved by the parties. And that means the person who you've decided to devote your life to making them miserable and to bashing them on social media and embarrassing them and berating them and boycotting their house and cursing at them whenever you see them and all that, that person, that's the person you're going to have to go to try and work this out 97% of the time. Or you can say, well, I don't care about that. I'll be one of the 3 out of 100 that goes to trial and then expect to pay thousands and thousands of dollars as your lawyers prepare and conduct a trial, and they do it in the best possible way that it can be done, and therefore it becomes unbelievably expensive to do. If you want that, God bless, but you know what? It's better not to do it that way. It's better to realize at the outset that, look, there's some hurt feelings here. Both of us went into this believing that till death do us part. We thought that meant until the end of our lives. Turns out it's the death of the relationship, not the death of us. So now the relationship has died. So okay, so now we have to move on. We can do it in such a way, like adults. We can be the adults in the room and try to resolve these things, or we can be the children in the room and let the judge be the adult. It's always better, even begrudgingly, for you to agree to something than to ultimately have a judge say, okay, you can't agree, so therefore you shall do this, you shall do that. Believe me, you don't want that. That's not a way to manage your family, okay? That's not a way to manage how your life is going to go. At the end of this 6 months or 12 months or however long your divorce process takes, the lawyers and the judges are going to be out of the picture. You're going to have to survive in the post-divorce life and perhaps relationship with your ex in some way. Maybe you have a kid, and maybe you're always going to have to be working with your spouse and that child for things that have to do with education, health, religion, major decisions in the upbringing of the child. If you're still going to have to work with that person, you better not spend the next 1.5 years alienating them so that you can spend the next 15 working with them. That's going to be very hard to do. Maybe you have not a child, but there's a business, and the way it's working out, you're both going to have to stay in the business together for a while until things can resolve. If that's the case, you've got to create a scenario where the job is easier to accomplish, not create a scenario where the job is harder to accomplish. Are you trying to make the job harder to accomplish? I think not. So in light of that, you've got to keep that in mind. If you keep that in mind, if you understand what the relationships have to be after the divorce, maybe you'll do things a little bit differently. Maybe you won't be so inflexible on certain things that really don't matter to you. If you've got something that really matters to you, fight about it. But if you've got something that really matters to them and you, in your heart of hearts, don't really care about it, give it to them. It's stuff. You'll get other stuff. Don't worry about it. If there's 7 days in a week, if the child is going to be 3 days, 4 days, or 4 days, 3 days, work it out. Let her have the 4 days. Next week, you'll get the 4 days. You want Christmas Eve this year, but she wants Christmas Eve this year. See if it can be worked out. You take it this year, I'll get it next year. You know, there's always going to be a give and take in every relationship, even if it's a bad relationship. There's got to be give and take. Because otherwise you're going to get some guy in a black robe telling you how you're going to run your life. And believe me, as bad as it is now, you're not going to want that to happen. And you know what? God forbid, in the middle of all this, as the judge is telling you how to run your life, he takes a job at some firm and a new judge comes in. Now you've got to have a new judge telling you how to run your life who may not agree with how the other judge is telling you. Do you really want to weather that? I don't think so. Most people wouldn't. If you have questions about your case and the direction it's going, give us a call. Let's see if we can help you out and get it down the right path.